So here is why I think media is pushing the interracial black-white partnership so much. And bracing y'all right now, I am going to sound a little Dr. Umar-ish, but just hold on and bear with me, okay? I think the reason why we're seeing such a push for black-white interracial couples is not because love is love, because racism is over, but it is an attempt to continue on the white heritage and to diminish the black heritage. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how true this will end up being under this administration because they are cutting everything, and Levy, Virginia could be on the chopping block too. So just know that while this is what I think, it could very well turn out to not be that at all. But I'm thinking about it from the standpoint that in about 20 to 30 years, the white race in America will be the minority. And I think that is freaking the white folks out tremendously. They are panicking over the potential of the white race being lost and forgotten about. And I think they're trying to find now creative ways to ensure that the white race prevails. And I think one of the ways they found that out is through diluting the black race. If a black person and a white person get together and have a baby, that baby is not biracial. If that biracial child then also gets with a white person that has a baby, that baby has a high chance of coming out white. There is a high potential for them to be able to wipe out our black genes within like 2 generations, maybe 3 tops. And that's what I think it's about. I don't think this is a whole, oh, we're so diverse, look, we got a black person, white person. No, I think this is them trying to normalize us coming together and having kids, not because love is love, not because we're fighting against racism, but because they are trying to stay in the game for as long as they possibly can. And if you want to get even more technical here, I tend to notice the interracial dynamic is a black man and a white woman, and I think that is for a reason too. Because typically speaking, when the woman is black, she's going to raise her kids immersed in black culture and black history. That typically is not the same when the black person's the father. Let's just keep it a stack, keep it a bean. When the mother is white, they are going to raise those kids white. You see where I'm going with that? I think that this is all very intentional messaging and done for a reason. This for me is a strong reason why I personally will not be having no kids by no white man. No. My blackness means a lot to me, and it means a lot for my kids to look like me. Say, take it how you want. You can call it selfish, but baby, having kids is selfish in and of itself. It is what it is. But I personally do not want to start the diluting of my race and who I have kids with. So if it ain't black, baby, I ain't having no kids, and it is what.
I love my blood, my lineage way too much to ever procreate with a white man. I love my blood and I love my blackness. If I'm ever going to procreate with a man, it will be black. And strictly black it is. Because there ain't no way I am giving birth to mixed children. I don't want them. I just don't want them. I want my children to look like me. I want my children to grow like me. I want them to be black and experience being black. I don't need that type of confusion. I don't need to ever be accommodating to any racial things. For me, I just don't want them. I don't want a white man. I don't want a white man. Like, I have a problem with them. Like my brain will never compute ever loving a white man. So a white man for me is just tragedy and a nightmare, because they're gonna try to use that system against me. They're going to raise the child to be like them. I don't know what she said, but she's saying that the black mother usually raised them to be black. I'm sorry about that. Now, I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. I don't think that black mothers have the capabilities of raising their children to be black, with anything black. Let's look at Nara Smith. Like, what did Nara Smith do? Do you want us to see what Nara Smith's husband did? Oh, I can touch on it a little bit. Try to find it. I think I removed it. But nonetheless, Nara Smith's husband voted for Trump. And Nara Smith is supporting her husband with children that look like that. Do you think she has the capability of raising her children to be black? First of all, she doesn't know how to speak her mother's language, which is an African language. But black African mothers know how to raise their children to be accommodating to blackness. Meanwhile, she doesn't know how to speak her African language. She signs everything to her father's side, which means that her father's culture has influenced her in so much, and the mother does not mind. The only thing about the mother is that she's black and she sides with everything that her white husband tells her. No. Oh, hell no. I'm not gonna be a white man. It's British. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And every time the same Nara Smith seems to cater to blackness is when she's using it to market. It's like as a guinea, just like her existence is basically like a guinea pig. I'm sorry to say this, but she's giving like experimenting the way she's experimenting with our culture. It does. What do you think it's telling me? It's telling me that her father is utilizing her as an experimenting gimmick. No, I'm serious. I'm looking at you so that you can understand what I'm saying. Because every time she's black, she's either doing something. She's doing. Every time people question her blackness and the way she interacts with her blackness, and not interacting with African the way that she would interact with Europe, she does her braids. So it's interesting, really interesting to look at it, and how people view interracial relationships as a way that white men are good. I don't see white men like that. Like, I would never push interracial relationships. In fact, I'm still the same. Like, the only reason I've ever even liked Italian men is because I used to share with not just Italian men from those in the south. I'm not sure south or north. Those ones like the Sicilians, because they have like an heritage of blackness. But even with them, look at how they are reacting and interacting with their blackness. How they went to their states and started interacting with white American women, and started to erase that. And then when you go to our states, they're no longer Sicilian, like they're diluted blood. That like that. That's why they are also shrinking in population now. They were stronger then because they had a stronger gene. So now that they've diluted their blood even further, unless you go to Italy in Sicily, then you might find a little bit of blackness there, like strictly black Italian people who are just still there, but they're black. Right, you can still find them, but even in them, you look at how the society treats Italians. Those Italians, they still see them that they are not really Italians and stuff like that. So that's not a culture that I really want to involve myself with. So I would rather stick with the Zulu man that I like. I like Zulu men, and that's how it's going to end. Sorry.